All right, we're back. It's episode 11 of Boots and Scarves, the EPL episode today. Our guest this week is someone who is from London, once played for West Ham, is now, signed to Atletico Ottawa. A guy who we're very excited to have on this week. Everyone, please give it up for Vashon.
Yes.
Also, salute to Jessica. How are you doing this week?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good. President of Bytown Boys. My roommate in the next room, Stefan. How are you doing?
Not hungover. I'll go check on the rest of the council.
And of course, my favorite local YouTuber, panelist, and friend, Michael McCall, MCCALL. Check out his channel on YouTube. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm all right. I'm back inside today. It's cold outside, so I'll take it back to the room.
Been chilly for a couple days now. Hence the hoodie on me. Anyway, so 11 questions on deck as usual. Every third question from the first one is for Vashon specifically. The others are for the whole group, including our guest. And we're off to the races. Are we good?
Yeah.
Go.
Okay. So first one for Vashon this week goes, did you find there was a big difference between playing in Wales versus playing in England?
Not really, because the team that I was at in Wales, we played against teams in England. So the only real difference was the living. Like it's different. I'm used to living in London, in England, and it's busy all the time, and there's a lot going on. There, it was quiet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first group question goes, and I'll get Stefan to start us off. Do you think there will be any amendments made to the financial fair play rules, as a result of what's been happening recently with COVID-19 and the economy and stuff like that?
There will be amendments, but I think they'll adjust it till you get back to a spot, and then the rules will be back again, kind of like a leeway, like a break. Okay, look, we know shit happened, so how do we help you get back on track to stick to these rules? We want you to stick to these rules, but we need to make sure that we don't kill you in the process. We don't want to create another Bury situation. We want to just, argument's sake, I know they're not in a big financial trouble. Norwich, okay, look, you didn't have all these fans. You need the gate revenue. You need this TV revenue. How do we help you? That once we get back on board, maybe it's a loan system of some sort. Okay, you're allowed to go over this, but after this amount of time, you got to start paying back that amount that you went over.
Right.
So,
Michael?
I think there'll be something. I don't know what. I don't even think it's gonna be that noticeable, especially for bigger teams. I mean, bigger teams have money regardless. I think there'll be something, but I don't think it's gonna be that noticeable towards the fans, anyways. Maybe a little bit of management, but yeah, there'll be something.
Okay, Jess?
I have to agree with Stefan and Michael. I do believe that there will be some sort of change, but what change there will be, I can't really tell you. I don't know, but I also don't think that it's going to be very noticeable.
Right.
no insider trading tips, gents?
No.
So, Vashon, would you like to have a go at it?
I'm with everyone else. I think there will be a little change, but not that much. Not that you can tell.
Okay. So nothing tremendous or super significant. So, okay. Next group one, I'll get Michael to start us off. So we see teams like Bournemouth, who spend so much money on a player, and then, they see not the greatest results, let's say, on the in the table, to then could be on the edge of bankruptcy, So do you think the EPL should adapt a salary cap like we do in North American sports to help protect teams, the owners, players from these kinds of situations from arising again?
Well, first of all, I think that's our first question to come from someone from overseas. That comes from Ryan in Sutherland area. So, thanks, Ryan, for that question.
Shout out, son.
But that's a huge question over here. It's a huge thing. Should they put a salary cap on teams that they have to spend money or only allowed to spend a certain amount to keep it fair for other teams? But it also helps the lower teams kind of compete, right? Or the other option is put a salary cap on actual players itself. Say, okay, you're only not spending so much on a certain player. I think if they do adopt somewhat of a salary cap, it would be more of a player cap. You can't spend so much on a player over a certain amount or whatever.
Right.
But ultimately, I don't think we'll ever see one, and I don't think they should, because I think once you start telling owners what to do with their money, that's where we're going to start seeing a lot of problems. And I mean, it's probably the most successful professional league in the world, maybe other than the NFL type stuff.
Right.
I think it is. I don't think we'll see it, and I don't think it would do the league itself any good.
Okay. Stefan?
I'm not one for salary caps because, well, you look at the NFL, you look at baseball, how many teams do horribly, but they're spending the money they're supposed to spend, not spending up to the cap, and they still have money, but they just won't spend the money on their teams. So you create that scenario, but also how do you make a competitive salary cap when you have promotion relegation? How does that affect it as well?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get into that kettle of fish. And personally, I'm the identity of, hi, Jim, I'm going to pay you £1 million this season. All right? Here's the money in the separate bank account so you know the money's there. You could check it all the time, that the money is there. You will not. Maybe that's how they got to go. They got to set up separate bank accounts for players' wages so players know the money's there versus go, oh, here, we're going to pay you this much. Great. 6 months down the road. Yeah, I'm broke. Can I hit you next week? Yeah, I don't. As my dad said, there's the first bill you ever pay when you run a business is your staff. You pay the wages. Push the hydro till next week. Push the rent till next week. But always pay your employees because they're the ones that are going to bring you the money. If they're not bringing you the money, then you don't have any money whatsoever.
Right. Oh, that's a good point. Vashon, would you like to answer?
A salary cap for the Premier League, the English Premier League. I wouldn't think it's the best thing to do because it's one of the, I would say, one of the best leagues in the world, and the investments and the owners in it, like Newcastle, they just got a new owner, and they're most probably one of the richest in the league right now. So that, like, new people coming in and taking over the team, they can make a new squad or whatever and bring like people that the English Premier League might want to see that they don't get to see often. So.
Right. Just?
Will we ever see it? I don't think so. But it would definitely help out the lower teams in the league.
I for one, I don't want to see it happen, but I don't get to wave the magic wand here. So next question for Vashon, for you, my friend. Before you penned your name on a contract to play for West Ham, like what was it that drew you to play over there?
I was at Chelsea before, and I got released at a young age when I was 13, I think, 12, 13. And then I was trialing at other places. Went to Arsenal, West Ham, and a couple other teams.
Mm-hmm.
And West Ham, I don't know, going there is just, it had like a family kind of vibe. Like they look after you, like something that I got here, like the vibe that I got here from Atletico. Like since I've been here as well, they look after you and they treat you like family, like we're all as one.
Good. All right. So to the next group question for Jess. It's a very simple one in my opinion, and to me it's an obvious answer. But is the EPL, the English Premier League, in fact the most competitive football league in the world?
Yes, it is. And I believe it is because when the season starts, teams are fighting to stay in the league and not be relegated to the Champions League.
Absolutely. Michael?
Championship
Uh,
league.
sorry. 100%. I think it's the most competitive league in the world. It's the most watched for a reason. It's though if you watch the league, you know that there's a top 6, top 7 teams in the league, and those teams are going to compete for the title, and those teams are going to compete to go to Europe every year. But it's no guarantee which one is going to win it every year. We had Man City win it back to back very recently, but I think it was 15 years ago before we had that again, where I think it was Man U did it 3 years in a row, and then Chelsea did it prior. But it is the most competitive league. When you look at teams in Europe, the French league, usually it's PSG. Germany, usually Bayern Munich. Spain, Barcelona, or maybe Madrid here and there, but most likely it's one of those two. And then the further you go down the European line, it's literally one team every year, or more likely to do it. So 100%, England is the most competitive league in the world.
And Vashon?
Yeah, most definitely. I'd say it's one of the most competitive leagues in the world. Like from the top teams, you can have the top teams winning crazy games, and then even bottom teams like Norwich right now, they're at the bottom of the league. Like they might have a great game and beat Liverpool, like who's at the top right now, and everyone's just fighting to stay in the league.
Absolutely. Stefan?
Well, yeah, it is it is the one best TV ratings, so that's got to do something in the North American market. A friend of ours would say you watch England for the game and you watch Italy for the tactics. And the Italians are competitive, but it's not. You have to be a more tactical person to enjoy the Serie A style of play versus the England. England's still very just dump and chase. Let's go, go, go. Serie A is building, and just hoping that one shot determines the whole game. Well, Mike was talking about PSG. The last two competitors in the French league really to challenge PSG, Saint-Monaco and Montpellier. Those were the really two challengers. Spain and Scotland, well, until Rangers came up, they've all been two-horse leagues. So I don't find watching those leagues enjoyable because, great, this team's going to win it. It's not two fights you can watch. The last time Bayern Munich did not win Bundesliga was 2012, and from 2010 to 2012, Dortmund won it twice. And before that, Bayern Munich, then Wolfsburg. But you got to go far back to find out who won it. And it's just, look, I enjoy, the year Man City won the title in injury time. Like, everybody was just, oh my God, it's coming down to the wire.
Right.
So those are things you enjoy. Look at the run Leicester did. Like, I never heard so many non-footy fans talk about footy because of Leicester. So that's something you got to take in consideration. There's the possibility for an upset like that. And as my dad would say, when Rupert Murdoch owned Sky and Man U and sold the rights to Canada, Man U could be just playing for a fourth place, yet there's a title battle going on or a relegation fight, and all you see on TV is Man U playing Everton. If Man U win, they'll cement their position for third. Whoopee, who cares? Who's going two-footed tackle to make sure their team doesn't get relegated, or who's just trying that insane bicycle kick to win the title? But no, so we have a good game system to watch. It's enjoyable, maybe without the VAR, but that's a different discussion.
All right, Michael. So when a football club is promoted to the EPL, like those of us who support Villa, They have to choose between having the best manager or having money as a top up. So which one do you go with?
Yeah, so when I submitted this question, it was totally hypothetical in my mind. It's like, would you rather have the best manager or would you rather have the most money? I'm a firm believer that money does not buy championships. I'm a firm believer money will bring you skill, but it doesn't bring hearts. It doesn't bring dedication. So I'm going with a hardcore manager. I think you look at Liverpool right now. Do they field the most money on the team on their field? No, it's Man City definitely, I think, would do that. Or even Tottenham in the past few years, though they never won the league. I mean, they've been second, they've been third, and they have spent nowhere near enough money or as much money as other teams. So I'm going to go with a manager. I'd rather have a solid manager. If I'm coming into the Premier League and I have a chance to get Klopp on my side, I'm bringing him in over the money for sure.
Cool. Vashon?
Yeah, I'll go with a manager definitely because you've seen it in years before, like Klopp and other managers in the Premier League, like what they can do for the team, like just showing the philosophy they want to play and everything they want to do. It can gel a team well.
Perfect. Stefan?
Well, most of us are going to say it's manager. Let's face it. We all have friends who cook who could just open up your fridge and look at the ingredients and have an amazing meal ready. I'm not one of those guys. I tend to follow the instructions. But you have those kinds of chefs out there, and that's what I think a manager is. A manager is going to see great, this is what I have to work with. Okay, well, Bob over there, he's not that good with pace, but can he crank that ball? So we can put him in a position that he can be that sniper from the outside. All right, we'll put you more this defensive midfielder. We're not going to put you on the wings. We're not going to put you up front. He's got to read the room, read the emotions. He's got to understand his players. You can look. You polish a turd, it's still a turd. It doesn't matter what you do with it. If it's so, to me, it's brain over brawn. A good manager is brain. Money is brawn. And I like to say, work smart, not hard. Working hard's for stupid people.
Jess?
This kind of goes into one of my answers for a question coming up. I couldn't really answer only because in recent years, haven't really paid attention to the EPL. So there are pros and cons to both of the options. So I didn't answer the question.
That's fine. So for Vashon, of all the away matches you've played, what was your favorite away stadium to play in?
My favorite away stadium to play in is most probably the Emirates because I support Arsenal. I always have as a little kid. I was born there, grew up around there. So yeah, I'll say Arsenal.
All right. So let's go to Stefan. So what are your predictions, top three and bottom three of the EPL once the season's finally done?
Top three, Liverpool, Man City, Leicester. Leicester, because I looked at who's coming up behind them and just I don't see Man U pulling a rabbit out. Nor do I see Tottenham. Let's face it, sometimes they could screw up their runs.
No, my dad is mad at Tottenham.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stick with the current table. Liverpool, Man City, Leicester. Going down, Norwich. The safe bet would to be save Villa's going down, but we got McGinn back healthy now. So that might help us midfield-wise. We got our spine back.
Cool.
So that might help us go a bit forward if we could take something from the Blades. So I'm going to go Bournemouth and Watford. Bournemouth is they had to stay up, but they're not that good, and that is Watford. They're playing on how Villa stayed up for so long. 3 worse teams than us. So I don't think they can stay up that well. But knowing my luck, because I said it, Villa's going down. But
Michael?
The top, Liverpool's got to top it. I'll give it to City, obviously, and then I'm going to stick with Leicester as well. Leicester's been a little bit disappointed leading up to the shutdown, I guess. They were a little bit disappointed. Vardy, who was, I think he is still leading the league in goals, or he was. He hasn't scored in how many games, but I'm going to say Leicester will stay third. Going down, Norwich, I got to put Villa down. I don't see Bournemouth going down. For whatever reason, I don't see Bournemouth going down. I don't want to see Watford go down either, so I'm kind of hoping Brighton brings it down a bit. But I think it will be Watford, Villa, and Norwich.
Okay. Jessica?
I'm going with Liverpool, Man City, and Chelsea at the top of the league. And
Ooh.
then I'm going with Watford, Norwich City, and Aston Villa at the bottom. Relegated.
And Vashon?
For going up, staying top three, I'll say Liverpool, Man City, Leicester City. And going down, I'll say Norwich, Aston Villa. I'm sorry, I know there's a score.
That's okay. That's okay.
Villa fans are used to it.
Between Bournemouth and Watford, I have friends that play for both, and they're on the same points at the moment. But Bournemouth they have a fighting spirit in them, so I say Bournemouth to stay up, Watford go down.
Okay. All right. Let me find my place here. So, Stefan, one side that has impressed you so far, and one side that has been quote unquote rather disappointment to you, in your opinion.
The Blades, Sheffield United have impressed me immensely. Last season was Wolves. This year it's the Blades. I'm just in awe how well they're doing, and I'm happy that they're going to stay up. They worked their way to get back up there. They've kept that management system intact. They've adjusted as players left, came in, and they've created a core mentality within the upper level that the leadership is a united front. So when the players come in, they're seeing somebody that knows exactly what they're doing. One of my teachers in college would say a good event is you not seeing the workers rushing to get that spare bucket that they forgot.
Mm-hmm.
You might see someone carrying a bucket. You have no idea what the bucket's for. A badly run event is you're seeing that person running with the bucket, telling people to move. So
Right.
if the players see that bucket's being moved with nonchalant, they're like, oh, okay, that's part of the system. They don't know that bucket was supposed to be in that room 2 hours ago. So that's what they need to see. And Blades have done that. Disappointing is Everton. Like, I don't know how many of us listen to Guardian podcasts, but they used to call it the fifth place team won the Everton Cup. Because Everton will always get it, fifth place. So what happened? Like, Everton was that nice staple that you're like, it's not a big team, but they're fighting to be that big team, and you're always impressed with them. Now you're looking at them going, what happened? Like, did you borrow some of the drugs you're not supposed to take? You had a bit too much salsa?
Michael.
The team that impressed me most, I think it's safe to say it was Sheffield. They've done a really good job. But I don't think many people can say they saw Leicester doing what they've done this year either. As well as Wolves again, keeping it up. But ultimately it is Sheffield. They've done an amazing job of what they've done. And the best thing about them is they haven't spent that much money either. They came up and they just kicked ass and they kept going at it. And they play a very defensive game. And they do well on the counter. Team that's disappointed me, I'm going to go with West Ham. As much as I could agree with Stefan with Everton, they picked it up though. Everton picked it up and they've done somewhat decent now. But West Ham, I thought they spent quite a bit of money in the offseason and nothing to show for it. And like I said on the previous question there, money does not breed success. I think West Ham's a good example of that right now because they could be going down. And I honestly had them in the top 10, pushing for 7th this year. And they could be going down. So West Ham is disappointing for me.
Vashon?
team that's impressed me is Sheffield as well. They do not like losing. They somehow find a way to keep the draw or win, and they've impressed me this season. Disappointed is West Ham as well, because West Ham, they spend a lot of money and they have great young players. Declan Rice. There's a boy on loan, Grady Dieng, Ghana, in Championship, and he's having a great season this season. So they could play their youth as well, and they not really pushing to play them.
Jessica?
Can't really answer this question as I have not recently been keeping up with the EPL, but I have now chosen sides as of last week. So I am going to be once it all starts up again, I will be following Villa.
Oh, okay. But
Someone else to join us at Alcoholics Anonymous.
she's watching a lot of F1 throwbacks. All right. Last personal question for Vashon. So between playing in the height of summer in Ottawa, which we've had a bit of a peak of it lately, versus the height of winter in England, to you, what would be, the lesser choice to play in?
I'd rather not play in England in the winter.
Okay.
Especially the night games. Sometimes it's frosty, it's cold. I hate playing in the cold. So
okay.
I'd rather do the heat.
Okay.
I can vouch for him for being a fan in the stands there. I was at a Newcastle game in the winter, so I can feel the pain for the players.
Horrible.
My grandfather said the coldest he's ever been is going to a game at Villa Park in the afternoon in winter. And he moved to Canada in the 60s. And we're talking minus 20, minus 30 going to work. And he's just like, no, I'll take going to England. At least we get sun here.
All right. Final group question of the day. Thank you guys so much again for your time, and thank you, Vashon, for joining us. It's been such a pleasure. So, Stefan, do you think the day will ever come when, now this is like, we're talking about supporters, we're shifting the end of this here. So, Eastern European supporters have a way of supporting their clubs. They have a culture, but do you think we will ever see the day where that style of supporting your club in the stands, leaks into the English way, so to say?
Yes and no. I know Brits who aren't fans of drums and flags, but maybe not being allowed to do that style that the rest of Europe has copied actually helps create the English culture of supporters. Because all the past hooliganism, let's face it, you can't even bring food into the stands, I don't think, right? Mike? Yeah, you can. So now they have to make do with what they have. So you hear the witty songs to come out with, like on the fly. Something just happened. Which team was saying we want our dick back when with the
Solid.
Yeah, that was you lot. Okay.
Yeah, we want our dick back for big.
But that was on the fly. That's not something that you really hear that often in North America. And I remember last year in the USL, we were playing Charlotte Independence, and we were making fun of the Revolutionary War. So I ran into the storage room, yanked out our St. George's Cross and Union Jack, and we started waving them around. And then we were making songs of "The Queen's coming for you. She wants her country back. The Queen's coming for you." That kind of wit. So the English system, being deprived of what the rest of the world is doing, created their own identity. But mind you also see with Crystal Palace Ultras, and they're getting that atmosphere up and going. So again, necessity is the mother of all invention. So because they didn't have that, they developed their style. Maybe coming in when the rules are slowly relaxed, that style. They won't lose that style. Just the flags and the drumming will just be garnishes to the plate already being served. They'll just make it look prettier, sound prettier.
Mhm.
But as long as they keep that little on-the-fly witty chants going, that's important.
Michael.
We'll get elements of it. We won't see the whole, like, we won't be like them, but we'll get elements of it. Steph said, Crystal Palace uses drums. But I believe that England matches for England themselves, there's drums and flags there as well. So for international level, it's already a bit there. I mean, I think every team in the country uses flags. We don't really use flares or anything, but we'll see elements of it. Like Steph said, they have their own identity, and it's more of the wittiness, especially in the lower leagues, you'll see the witty stuff and the fans doing weird or funny stuff. I mean, I was at the Solent game when a fan took a crap in the seats. I don't think you'll see a lot of that anywhere else. I'm not saying there was wittiness either, but
It's just super hammered.
England fans are a special breed, and they do what they do, different from everyone else. We'll see elements of East European culture, I think, but we won't see it fully adapt.
I have to add on quickly to Michael's thing. I found a video I still have saved on my Facebook feed. Sunderland fans watching Norwich game, bored as hell, and the camera zoomed in on a lady, and she was rolling a joint. So yeah, I'll have to tag you in that one.
As I said, the England fans were a special breed, and they get even specialer up north, I say.
All right, Jessica.
I have no idea.
No.
No.
You don't think we'll ever see that kind of thing in England?
I think, going with what Michael was saying, I do think that we will see elements, but not, I guess, like, fully.
It won't be full blown.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And finally, Vashon.
I'm not too sure on this topic because I haven't seen the fans yet, to be fair. But I think so. I think in the years to come there will be, because it's a growing sport here. It's not the biggest sport here yet, but it's a growing sport, and when it gets bigger, I think so.
Absolutely. Well, there you have it. 11 questions in, 11 questions done. And thank you guys once again for your time this week. And thank you, Vashon, so much for being our guest this week. We are so happy. This is Boots and Scarves, episode 11, the EPL podcast. Jessica, would you like to plug in all our socials,
Yes.
please?
You can find us on Twitter, Boots and Scarves podcast. You can find us on Facebook at Bytown Boys. We have a page and a group, and on Twitter we are at Bytown Boys.
All right, and anything else?
Well, the season, we're gonna get something of a season soon, so that's good.
Oh, fingers crossed. And once again, Vashon, thank you so much for your time today. That is Boots and Scarves, episode 11, the EPL episode. Signing off. Thank you.